Hi, I want to practice the different timings on the forehand shot and compare it to the backhand shot. So when I started off using the Eastern backhand, this was my weaker shot compared to my Eastern forehand. So most of my practice was trying to make the Eastern backhand similar to my forehand in order to improve it. But now I kind of want to do that in reverse. So I've already kind of learnt off the Eastern front side backhand, and so I want to apply that learning and to try to improve my forehand even more. So one way of comparing that is through the different timings on the ball. So by timing, I mean kind of the order of the swing of the technique between your elbow motion, your wrist motion, your body rotation. And so what I might do to begin with is I might hit a medium pace shot. And so my elbow will go at a medium speed, but my wrist will kind of go at a slow speed. So my wrist is going slowly, but my elbow is going fast. So the arm will be moving kind of on an even kind of pace, as where the racket will overall be going at a medium pace, even though the wrist is going at a slow pace. So I'll do that on Eastern. Think about this is that your wrist is kind of barely moving, and mostly your elbow, but your wrist it's not still, it's just slightly moving. And so what this means is that when you do the swing, the wrist motion, it seems a bit elongated, a bit kind of stretched. And if you find that difficult, there's another way you can do it. So you can think about a half motion where your wrist is it's only moving half of the way. So it's kind of going from a rear position to a neutral position, and so that's kind of a half motion. So your elbow will do a full motion, but your wrist is only going from back to forward. And after it gets to forward, it just remains still. And so that's a different way of kind of doing the same thing. if you're doing this on a topspin grip or a topspin east run shot, it might be easier to do the opposite, where you go from a neutral position on the wrist to a forward position on the wrist. So you leave out the backswing on the wrist. The elbow still has a backswing, but just not the wrist. So that's what I'll do, is I use a topspin grip without a wrist backswing, and so the wrist will kind of go forward from a neutral position. So as you can see, the wrist was kind of half moving. I'll do the same on a flat shot. So I'm using the same Eastern grip, but I'll do it on flat. And so when I do that half motion between neutral to forward on the wrist, the tendency will be more to go kind of very inside in. So I might have to hit the ball kind of late, close to my body, to ensure it doesn't go too far sideways. Actually, one very last thing I might do is I'll do a half motion. So I won't do a full backswing on the wrist, I won't do a full foreswing on the wrist. I'll just go from a slight backswing to a slight foreswing. So it's mainly a neutral position, but it's just going to slightly vary a tiny bit between the backswing to the foreswing. So a small bit of both. To increase the speed, so my elbow will go at a faster speed, kind of a medium fast speed on the elbow. The wrist is just going to stay at a slow speed between a slight backswing to a slight foreswing. Now just to compare the backswing, or the backhand, sorry, and the forehand, I'll just keep the wrist still, and I'll keep the racket face, the pitch, the racket face kind of open on the same amount on both the backhand and the forehand, and I'll keep the racket handle angle, so that the racket angle just kind of slightly downwards, kind of a 10% downwards, the string bed kind of open. string. It's unusual to kind of have the string bed very open, but it's a good way to compare it to the supinated front side backhands. And so I'll leave it at that. Thank you.